What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Club and Country. This is episode number 61, and we start today's episode off by putting in some new bids for some more players. Obviously, with a little bit of money left over now and approaching deadline day, I decided to go and inquire for some more players. Jose Gaia of Valencia, Javier Manquillo of Atletico Madrid, and also Hugo Mayo of Celta Vigo. So, as you can see, the emphasis is on a fullback. As I've mentioned many times before, I would like a new left back particularly, but I wouldn't mind a right back either. But also this guy, Iago Diaz Miguel, I found this guy on the loan list and my scout picked him up as a promising type of player. And as you can see, 63 overall, 17 years old. Okay, he's pretty bang average right now, but 17 years old, I think if you throw him in the first team, he might do quite well. So I inquired for a loan deal with Sevilla and we'll wait and see what they say. Also Juan Bernat at Bayern Munich and also Jordi Amat of Swansea, these ones for permanent transfers. And I also saw as well that Uruguay came in for us and asked us to manage our nation, and of course we said no. So yeah, a few players we're going in for as we approach deadline day. Not too sure whether we'll get any of them, but regardless we have to wait and see. And as you can see, deadline day starts here, and we had so many rejects for all those fullbacks. However, Sevilla did let us take their right back, Iago Diaz Miguel. He's only going to cost us 2.25 grand a week, so that's absolutely nothing, really. And also, obviously, you know, as I mentioned before, I think he going right into the first team could be one of those new gens that look really good in the future. I don't know why exactly. My scout did pick him up as promising, so that's always encouraging. And also the fact he's 63 overall at 17 years old, so he's not a laughably bad overall. And yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But still, following that, more rejects, the main one being for Manquillo. They wanted £3.25 million plus Orfila, which wasn't a bad deal as he is 75 overall and a good player, and I'm not using Orfila, but I decided to reject that because his contract's up at the end of the year, and if we want to, we can sign him for a free in January, so there's no real point, to be honest. And also Granero is on his way to Numancia for 400 grand. He's one of the originals at Racing Santander, one of the members of the original squad, but of course we don't need him anymore, so he can go. And also a transfer came in for Pedro Bigas. Now I signed this guy on a pre-contract, if you remember, and he's been a very decent defender for us, but he's been put on the transfer list by the board as he wants a new contract and he's just not getting one. He's got 4 years remaining and he's on 15 grand a week. There's no need for him to get a new deal. So he wants a new contract, he wants an extension. A wage increase, and he's not going to get it. He's on the transfer list. We can't take him off unless we give him a new contract. So I said to Granada, £1.4 million. All right, take him. I mean, yes, I know we probably could have got a bit more for him than his valuation, but I thought if you want to take him, you can have him, because what I can do now is use that money that's going to come in to put in a new bid for Grimaldo. Now I know that Barcelona B wants £7 million, and we all know that is a huge overspend. But how many times have I mentioned this guy throughout the series? I'm just going to keep going in for him until I can get him. So you know, there's a possibility that it'll just keep on growing, as he is growing really handsomely right now, as Bigas does get sold to Granada for £1.4 million. There's a chance he'll keep on growing, as he has been doing really well over the first 3 seasons. He'll end up being like 80 rated at Barcelona B in the Segunda division, and you know, we'll probably have to fork out like £20 million or something stupid. So I thought what I'll do is Barcelona B again reject a bid of £6.25 million, and I'll offer £6 million plus Orfila on his own, because we won't really need Orfila anymore, and that will just reduce the wage bill a little bit and also get rid of one of those players who doesn't really have a long-term future here, as he is 29 years old. We'll wait and see if they accept it, and as you'll see, they said yes. So £6 million plus Orfila. I know it's a really expensive transfer and he's valued at £1.5 million. You're all probably watching this and thinking, oh my god, what a waste of money. But how many times have I been asking for the guy? I really do want to get hold of him. He'd be the perfect player to play at left back. He's got decent pace, decent technical stats. He's only 21 years old and he's already 73 overall, which means that I think in the future, with him having the showing great potential tag, with enough first team development, we can get him up to an 81, 82, maybe if we're lucky, 83, 84, and at a very high stretch, 85. So yes, I know, huge overspend. Yes, I know, bad business. Feel free to let me know that. But long-term future, first choice left back for the foreseeable future, yeah, I don't mind as much as you probably think. Still, what an expensive transfer deadline day, regardless, for us spending £6 million plus Orfila for a left back valued at £1.5 million. But in the end, what an expensive window as well. £17 million spent by Racing Santander this season. You know, that's more than a combined amount we spent over the past 3 seasons in both summer and January transfer windows. So a really expensive transfer window for us. It's the first time we've really broken the bank per se on a couple of players. Obviously Rodriguez and Grimaldo coming in for £6 and £7 million respectively, and also Perez came in for £4 million. A really expensive window for us, but I'm really happy with the business we have done. As you'll see, the transfer deadline day does end there, and you can also see the useful monthly report as well as we now enter September. I'm really pleased with the business we have done, because to be honest, as you see Alisi there, I cannot wait to promote this guy, because to be honest, I know that we do need to start transitioning into a better team, but I was worried about spending too much money on players who may turn out to be glitched or dud players and just won't grow. But when you look at this squad, it's going really nicely. You know, it really is. There are so many good young players here with the potential, and you know, the more we develop them, the more we give them game time, the more chances they're going to have of maybe one day reaching the Spain squad. When you look at Ruben Blanco, Carlos Blanco, Grimaldo, who just came in, obviously Ranieri Aguza as well, Pedro Obiang, Oliver Torres, Jesse Rodriguez, and there's one I'm forgetting as well. Oh, Iozo Perez possibly as well. That's 8 players I'm counting, and you know, there's no guarantee as well. Tunkara might reach it as well. That's between 8 to 9 players, plus the youth players we promoted this year in players such as Robinho for one, and also Paco Candea. We're looking at 10 players, around 10 players who could possibly make the Spain squad one day. And okay, yes, there's a strong chance we'll only get like maybe 3, 4, even 5 of those players, but the more players we get with decent potential to start with, the more chances we'll have at least one of those players getting into the Spain squad this season or maybe the season after. So I'm really happy with the business we've done. Again, you know, it is expensive, and some of the business we do is going to be overspends and just not worth it in terms of value for money. But in terms of the series development, we have to do that. So I'm pretty pleased with what we've done, and you know, I'm very pleased with the business for Perez and Rodriguez in total. As you can take a look at our Europa League group this year, we've got Fiorentina, Krasnodar and Rosenborg. I think we should be able to get through that at least in second place. Yeah, I'm pleased with the business we've done, and you know, I'm very confident as well this year that one of our players will get into the Spain squad. Now I know it's pretty ambitious for a team that doesn't have any 80 rated players just yet, but I'm confident that one of our players could make the Spain squad, especially with the additions we made to the squad in the summer transfer window. Probably Rodriguez would probably make it, maybe Torres, or Obiang possibly, but Spain do have a lot of good central midfield players, but we'll have to wait and see. Regardless, the transfer window has now ended, so we'll have a little bit of budget to work with in January, plus any money we may get for prize money as well through Copa del Rey and also Europa League progress. And also here is a scout report as well. As we now enter September, you can see how the players are doing from another month's worth of scouting. So far, 3 months have passed in the scouts report, and none of the players really look standout, do they? A couple look okay for the future, but no standout players yet, so hopefully, touch wood, that will change in the future. Regardless, we take on Malaga for the first and only game of today's episode here away from home, as we do travel to the south of Spain. After 3 games into the league so far, 1 win and 2 draws, so looking to get a little bit better than that as we begin our season off with Racing Santander. But Malaga, obviously not the easiest side to face. They've got some very decent players in their team. But I did fancy my chances, and Diaz Miguel and Grimaldo, both those fullbacks, would dive straight into the first team. I think I'm going to rotate Diaz Miguel and Bellerin this year at right back to see which one looks better in terms of overall potential. But regardless, both of those players making their debuts, but it wasn't a player making his debut in this game that would get the first goal. It was one of the new signings from the summer transfer window who would score the first goal, Jesse Rodriguez from Real Madrid, getting his first goal for the club, and it was a really simple goal as well. Obiang flicks on a header, Rodriguez fake shots around the last defender, and to be honest, Guillermo Ochoa, the Mexican goalkeeper, in my opinion, didn't show much of his World Cup form there, did he? That was really poor goalkeeping as Rodriguez slides it in. So first goal in a Racing Santander jersey, obviously starting up front in this game due to Iozo Perez's injury, and he does make it 1-0. Sadly though, Malaga would equalise on the stroke of half time. A very frustrating goal. The cross from the right hand side was played into the box, right to the far post, and in the end, Diaz Miguel making his debut, the man on loan from Sevilla, the 17-year-old right back. I guess you could possibly say it might have gone down as an own goal on another day, because it's kind of hard to see this, but if you look at it in slow motion, you'll see it does take a mini deflection off the defender, and I think it might have gone all the way across the face of goal had he not done that. It flicks off his back, goes into the top corner, and it's 1-1. So a deflected goal, but a goal regardless, and Malaga are back on level terms. But in the 65th minute here, Jesse Rodriguez plays a 1-2 of Oliver Torres and goes down the left-hand side. Look at the pace of Rodriguez. Gotta love this guy. Rise to slide challenge, but Ochoa makes a very good save there. A good stop by the Mexican, and it is still 1-1. But from the corner, Aguza crosses the ball in towards Albin Tozer. It's missed by everyone. Tunkara just off the bench hits the bar after a deflected shot, but it falls to Oliver Torres, and Torres turns it in and makes it Malaga 1, Racing Santander 2. So Oliver Torres gets his first goal of the season. And as I mentioned before, there are some players in this Racing Santander team who could possibly make the Spain squad maybe this year or next year, and both of them scored in this game. Oliver Torres and Jesse Rodriguez both getting the goals and making it Malaga 1, Racing Santander 2. And as you can see in the 90th minute, the final chance would fall here. Ranieri Aguza won us a free kick just outside the area, and he'd also stand up and take it. Our captain tried to drill it in the near post, try and catch out Ochoa. Unfortunately for us though, it did go wide and behind. But it wouldn't matter because the game did finish as a 2-1 victory, so 2 wins from a possible 4. Great to see Rodriguez get his first goal for the club and Torres his first goal of the season. A very good win against a very decent side away from home, and we are still undefeated as we start the new season off. So as always guys, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the episode, then please do leave a like, and I will see you for the next episode of Club and Country very soon.